Morning, traders. Morning, everybody. Just waiting for a few more to join in here in the chat. I'm going to go through some top-down analysis. Not feeling 100% this morning, so it might be a short stream. I might not even execute any trades. Definitely not feeling quite like myself this morning. I had a terrible night's sleep. Thought I was going to throw up during the night. Not very fun. Not that what you want to hear first thing in the morning either. But just to pre-warn you, might not be here for all the stream. All right, so let's get into the charts. As always, we're going to start on the higher time frame. Let's start on the weekly. Weekly, all right, we found a bid off this lower Bollinger Band on the weekly. That is our absolute extreme. And we've bid up. And you can see on the daily where we've bid up to the 5-day. Like we talk about, in strong trends, we will trade between 5-day lower bowl, 5-day lower bowl, 5-day lower bowl, 5-day lower bowl, 5-day lower bowl. Until we reclaim and get over the 5-day, there is absolutely no mean reversion to that 20-day taking place. So that's the first thing to be aware of. In my opinion, we left a bit of unfinished business down here yesterday. Those of you who joined me on stream will have known that for me to really feel confident about a long, I wanted to take out these guys here, basically into 20,000, and then do this move. And instead, we tapped and went up. All right, so we hit this block and found some shorts covering, I'd say, more than buyers in the market, which caused that squeeze yesterday. We were looking for it on stream, and off stream it finally went. All right, so if you caught that in the afternoon, you did very, very well. Lots of the team on Discord got it. High time frame, what are we looking at? Well, we remain in a downtrend, don't we? If we just zoom out of this hourly, here's an old anchor. We are very, very clearly making lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, so on and so on and so on. So for this market to pivot up, what will it need to make? It will need to make a higher low and a higher high. Where can it potentially do that? If today is going to be the day to do it. Yesterday we had this big drive up, and then after this squeeze, we had that big flush into close, all right? And then we found some bids there. I'd want it to hold that afternoon flush level, all right, which is also old point of control, all right? If we're able to hold in here, we can use liquidity for a drive upside. Nothing is confirmed until we really get above, let's just call it around 770, 750, and produce another higher low up here for that trade upside into this pool of liquidity here, all right? So if I'm thinking long today, I will want to see this hold down here, somewhere here, something bullish in here, and then I'll join the trend again, might have another trade if it can hold above previous day high into this supply block up here. If we fail this level, it has one more chance to be saved, and that will be down here into previous day low. What am I not going to do? I tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not getting short down here, right? We know buyers came in here yesterday. We know there's short covering there. There's not much room left. Think about the weekly Bollinger Bands and the daily Bollinger Bands. They are down here. I do not want to be looking for this short down here. Even if it's going to go lower and take out that liquidity, which is right here, even if it's going to go lower down there, I don't want to be short at the lows. What I'd rather see is a push and a sweep and a failure for that move, right? I need to think about good RR, all right? I need my risk to be like this and my reward to be like this. What I don't want is to get short down here and get squeezed, okay? But if we steal that daily and turn inside, we can create this trading range here, all right? So there's two trading ranges. There's this top side of it, and then there's the whole thing here, all right? So it's very possible today, if we can't get above and below previous day low and previous day high, previous day low, previous day high, that we rotate back and forth, right? I'm going to warn you now, that is 750 points of range. That is not a small range. We're not talking about a tiny 100-point range. So again, as I always say, you have got to watch your size and your stops. Be very, very smart with your size and your stops. Looking at the 5-minute in the overnight session then. So we can see yesterday. Here is where I said I didn't want to short yesterday. And I think we took some of these trades for these drives higher. Well, and I know we did. We got this long. And then in the afternoon, it kept going and going and going and going and going. And why did it keep doing that? Because shorts were in the hole, kept looking to add and add and add and add and add. And once we got to max pain point, this blue line, 5-day moving average, funny that. So low-hanging fruit was to Asia London high, and this was squeeze above into the 5-day, and then we found the sellers, all right? And we had that flush all the way back down into the New York VWAP, into point of control, into this area where we built structure. Lack of structure up here, come back down to structure. From there, we found bids. All right, I'm going to go over this part here shortly because this is while Trump was talking last night. From here, we go sideways. All right, this is just inside range. London takes out the Asia high and then takes out Asia low. This is normally not a good sign, right? This is normally a sign of liquidity building now. All right, so just be aware of that. This right here, where we've had London take out both sides, can often mean we're going to go into one of these megaphone patterns and do this. All right, so just be aware of that. Do not want you guys getting trapped. From a macro standpoint, we have news coming at 10 o'clock. Definitely worth being aware of that. What happened in here then? All right, what happened in these levels? Where would it be? Sort of around here. Oh, it's definitely this. All right, this was Trump talking. What was said last night? I'm going to tell you, not a whole lot. Nothing we didn't already know. It was a reiteration of where we're at. It was a positive spin, let's say, on the economy is going to be the best economy we've ever had. You know, we're going to bring manufacturing back. We're going to create jobs, blah, 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 blah. It was nothing we didn't already know. All right, so market didn't really get a chance to price anything in. What was said right here, all right, off this bounce yesterday, was that, and it wasn't by Trump, it was by a member of Congress, that maybe today we're going to cancel the tariffs on Mexico and Canada. I don't think that's true. That would seem odd to cancel it one day in. He even talked about last night reciprocal tariffs starting April 2nd. All right, so we are into a trade war scenario. We are still risk off. From a technical standpoint, like I said, we have a chance to save the market here. Otherwise, we're coming all the way back down to here. If we extend this range, we're going down to those daily levels, right? So that's what we're looking at today. These are the options. I'd much rather be a buyer in this market if it will set up that leg. I don't want to short near the lows. Remember, we're shorting at yearly lows, weekly lows, daily lows. There's nothing I like less than doing that, I'm going to be honest. So we are looking at this move here. This is your channel right now. And we know that back here is where we found demand. All right, so we can put like a little afternoon box in here if you like for this lower time frame. All right, so we're looking for this area to hold. If that area can put in some bullish structure and hold there, then we can potentially bid up to the overnight highs and then previous day high. That's what I'm looking at. If it can't hold, then we're likely to wash all the way back down to previous day low. Let's have a quick look across the board then. What have we got going on? All right, VIX found a bid yesterday. All right, so we drove all the way up into 26.35. It was overextended. It flushed all the way back down to structure into 21s. Found a bid. We're trading inside yesterday's range at about 24. Still very, very high on the VIX, okay? Not a healthy bullish market. I'm going to remind you that. Every bullish play will be a squeeze and counter trend. Let's have a look at the mag. What do we have? It's probably going to be the same story across the board here. Apple closing the gap, just like we are here. This yellow line is the gap. Apple had that drive in after hours and then give it all back pre-market, closing the gap. Microsoft, exactly the same. Drive after hours, closing the gap. Right, this means we're trading inside range here across the board. Amazon has almost closed the gap. Alphabet has closed the gap. That means we're opening flat on all of these, by the way. Meta finding a little bit off that gap, but underneath VWAP. Nvidia closing the gap. All right, so all of these are trading between previous day high and previous day close. The one that isn't is Tesla. All right, Tesla is underneath. It's selling off again. So whether that double bottoms down here in this buy zone or not is yet to be seen. Why is Tesla selling off? Well, a lot of the world not very happy with Elon, whether you agree with it or not. And you're having a decline in sales. Germany announced this morning, I think quarter on quarter, Tesla sales down 71%. So there you go. So the media having an effect on him, the spin or however you want to call it, definitely having an effect on the company itself. So now you should be prepared. You know what we're looking at. We've got about 4 minutes until open. Let's get through some of these comments. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Clint, Jeff, Trentry, Exister, Miguel, Tracy, Array, TR, Dopamine, Peter, Glenn, Vince, Indicator, Making It Happen, Jesse, Capt, OMZ, JD Florida Man, DJ Noah, Christy W, Exister, Leron, BU, Arturo, Thumper, Steve C, Max, R. Crawford, Eva, Phenom Z, Minix, Marek, Stephen W, and Derek. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Do me a favor before we get any further in the stream, 100 of you watching this right now, just tap that little like button down below, right? Tap that like button. Do me a favor. Helps the algorithm make sure that people can see me on YouTube. Doesn't cost you anything. Nice and easy. It would take you half a second to do. Just that little thumbs up button. Tap that now. Do me a favor. Those that didn't know, Tradeify is still on sale. Okay, all this month it's on sale. 30% off all 25, 100K and 150K accounts, and 35% off the 50K account. So if you want to get a 50K account, you can get up to 5 of them right now. Never been a better time to work with Tradeify. The code there is FZT. And also, if you are wanting to trade with Apex, they did announce yesterday that they're extending their sale. I think that's till the end of the week. I'm not fully sure on that. I haven't fully read the email, if I'm honest. But 80% sale on Apex if you're interested in trading with them. Again, code FZT if you want to use them. And that should have us covered into the morning drive this morning. All right, so I'm not looking to execute anything out the gate. Like I said, I'm not feeling 100%. If I went through my checklist, and I advise you all go through a checklist, you should be thinking about, have I eaten? Have I slept enough? Am I feeling 100%? Have I drunk enough water? Have I had my morning coffee? How do I feel in my body? Is my mental health good? Have I had, some sort of disturbance outside of trading? Have I had an argument or a disagreement with someone? Is there anything off right now that I need to look at? All right, and if you're feeling off, then chances are you want to think about either not trading or sizing down, right, until you're feeling better. I'm definitely not feeling 100% this morning. I don't know what's up with me. Feels like I've got some form of bug coming. Maybe just complete fatigue. But we will see. So definitely not going to link my accounts. It's going to have to be A+ for me to even think about taking a trade this morning. There we go. Peter saying Apex is extended to March 13th. So there we go. Exister. Make my coffee with bourbon. I wouldn't mind one of those right now, but I don't think I'd keep it down. Yulimar, good morning. Having a quick look at the book. Let's have a look at where these buyers and sellers are before the opening print then. 30 seconds left. We have a seller, 127 lot up at 20,500. Well, that's pretty high up there right now. Is that into the pivot? Okay. We have a buyer, small buyer, sort of 50 lot, down at 300. All right. So I'm going to let this just shake out, like I said. If we're going to hold this level here that we're drifting into now, or if we're going to find buyers here, previous day close, VWAP off previous day, somewhere down here, maybe previous day point of control, I'll think about executing along. If we're not going to hold it, I'm just going to be risk off. It can drift all the way down to previous day low. I really don't care at that point. It can do whatever it wants. What I'm not going to do is short the lows. I'm just going to be nice and patient, let this market set up how it wants to set up. Watch your ATR. I know I sound like a broken record. I'm telling you every day, but the range is big in this market. It's very, very volatile. The VIX is trading up in the high or the mid-20s, right? We're not in like a steady, nice, easy market to be buying into. So you must watch your sizing, all right? Gap filled, yellow line is gap filled. So we're opening flat, all right? We're opening flat. This is where we closed yesterday on the cash. That's where we're opening today. This blue line is yesterday's anchored view up. So far, finding bids in that zone we just talked about. So let's get this. Just want to make sure I set this right for you all. This is your New York Open. Remember, if we hold this blue zone, there is potential for a trade up to the top of London and Asia. And if we get through there, we can start extending. Let's have a look at the mag. Apple down 1/3%. Microsoft finding a bid this morning up 2/3%. Amazon also 2/3%. Google up 1/3%. Meta up 0.84%. Nvidia, the strong one, up 1.4%, getting a bounce this morning. And Tesla up 0.5% here. So market trying to find some bids this morning by the looks of it. I'm just going to be patient. Let this trade around. Decide what it wants to do, and then we can join that trend. Ideally, it finds a bid to trade back up. Even if we're in a range, if we think about this on a 5-minute, even if we are in a range, ideally we find some kind of bid here, because this range here will be an easier rotation to play, right? This range here doesn't offer as much. So ideally, I don't want to have to take that short side, ideally. Let's see. Let's see. Definitely not jumping in front of it. That is for sure. Right, remember, the higher time frame narrative is in a sell. It remains in a sell until we put in that higher low and higher high on an hourly chart. Failed to do that so far. There are some bids coming in right there off yesterday's VWAP. So those same buyers so far protecting that blue line is yesterday's VWAP. Okay, New York VWAP from yesterday. I will set a new one if we start to extend away from it and get rid of the old one. Good morning, Spartan. Nice and patient here. Remember, we have news at 10 o'clock. All right, news at 10 o'clock into that new hourly and 4-hour bar. Let's just make sure that point of control is in the right spot. Yeah, pretty much. I'd like to see that get tested, really. If we can test that and find some bids, it'll look pretty good. Nothing to do yet. Nothing to do yet. Not clicking buttons right now. But just remember, the flow zones are pointing downwards, right? We're in a strong trend downwards since that pivot in London. All right, from here, we talked about it. Here, we went into a sell and we're moving downside, but we're moving downside into demand. So I don't want to hit a sell into a potential demand area. If I was at my desk earlier, it was a nice sell all the way down into here. I'd be covering some of my position here and then holding a runner in case we break down towards previous day lows. Nvidia now starting to go red, Apple red as well. Microsoft 0.75% up, Amazon 0.5% up, Google now red as well, or at its previous day close. Meta 0.75% up, Nvidia now red as well. All right, so market just trading back and forth here while they decide what they're going to do. Remember, this is a sensitive area. They have the chance here to set a higher low for that inverted head and shoulders type look on an hourly for a drive back up towards Asia London high, previous day high. If they fail to set the higher low here, it's very, very probable we head all the way back down towards previous day low. I do not want to be short in demand at any point today, all right, because I know we're so far down on the dailies and the weeklies, but there is fear in the market. SPY and ES looking stronger here as they start to print higher. All right, they're starting to find bids here. Watching them trade into VWAP now on the SPY. ES a little far away. Let's have a look. How's QQQ doing? QQQ not a VWAP either, but the SPY is trading into VWAP. So let's see how it reacts here. Starting to try and trade through it by the looks of it. Gary, when I say demand is exactly that. It's where buyers have shown themselves, the blue box, where they've been there before, right? Where we have big moves away from an area is where I know buyers are stepping in. It can also be old supply turned into demand. So think of it as just resistance turned into support. It's the same kind of thesis, but it's where we have a strong move away. All right, we can think about yesterday, a higher time frame. All right, we built liquidity here. Remember, we talked about this on stream. We drove strong away. We came back to test it yesterday afternoon. We drove away. We know buyers are here. They're showing us that they're here because every time we come down here, we drive away from this level. When we came up here, we drove away from this level. That's supply. And the charts will tell you. They will tell you the story of what's going on. So what I don't want to do is short where I know buyers are participating, then I'm going against that. I want to be short way higher and start covering into this area. So the reason I'm not short right now is because I know that there have been buyers here the last few days. If we start to break down, like I said, If we start to break down, I don't love this trade, but there is a trade down into this. I really don't like this trade at all if it sets up, but there is a trade there. It's still 300 points up for grabs there if it's going to start to do it. So here's your trade down into previous day point of control here. Massive, massive level. This was the biggest volume in the session yesterday. Was right here, right now. This is where we caught it. That afternoon pullback low would take us down into 324s. So watching if they break 324s and trade back upside, or if they just absorb this here. SPY rejecting VWAP. Nice, Jack. Well, good for you, Jack. It's a good trade. Make sure you're taking a little bit off here in towards previous day point of control. You can hold a runner. If you took this move versus New York Open down to here, you can cover some and then hold a runner in case it breaks down. All right. Do not add in this zone. Do not be adding short side in this zone. Right, if you took this pop for the fade, it's very nice. Cover some, hold a runner in case it drifts another 300 points for you. Like I said, sometimes I miss trades because I have very like strict rules. I talked about this at the weekend. I will never, ever, ever, ever get short into demand, and I'll never get long into supply. It's the easiest way to get caught. Book looks pretty thin here this morning. I'm going to be honest. I think a lot of people waiting for news. Does not look thick on the tape around the current bid and ask. Right? It does not look thick at all. Not giving me any confidence to take a trade. There's not much on the tape. Not much action. Remember, we're printing an inside day. Right? We're printing an inside day. There are no breakout traders until we get above or below previous day low, previous day high. That inside day is about 750 points big as well. All right. So very, very big inside day. So ES closing the gap, SPY trap between VWAP and previous day close. I'm waiting for the news and new candle. Yeah, 10 o'clock exactly. 10 o'clock news, new H4, new H1. So into the bottom of this demand, we've now taken out that old wick that we did yesterday. So I'm watching that level closely. Let's just move this down so it actually holds these wicks. Right here. All right. So this was the wick we took out yesterday's wick at that low. If we start to find recovery there, we might get acceptance upside here for a squeeze. It's very, very possible if they're just taking that out to go back upside. Very, very possible we trade back up to here now. Here we go. So it's starting. So we took out that liquidity on that news wick, well, it wasn't news wick, no, afternoon pullback low. Counter trend is a move up to here. Then we have to see now, do we reject these levels? If we trade through these levels, then we're going to go all the way up here and up to Asia London high. So like I said, you must be taking profits down here. It's a reason I don't want to get short in here is because I know this is very, very possible. So again, stole the liquidity. We went over this maybe last week. Stole the liquidity, turned inside, right? Squeeze up now. Do we find bids here for continuation higher, or do they sell into this imbalance for a new leg down? That's where you're at right now. SPY above the VWAP. Everything looking very, very strong all of a sudden. Squeeze has definitely been set here. Squeeze just got set here. So can they trade upside? I'm looking to get involved in this. Already involved in this now. Moving my stop up aggressively. Trading this squeeze. How far up can we go? Right, so nice reaction off demand after sweeping liquidity. Oh, it's just like yesterday. Fantastic. Gonna make my money nice and early. Let me move my stop up, Ninja Trader. Don't do that to me. Ugh. Beautiful. All right, if we keep building liquidity here, I'll add back in. Why every time I'm in a nice trade does Ninja Trader get its knickers in a twist about me moving my stop? How frustrating. There, nice plan there, wasn't it, team? Right, we don't get short down here. All right, we do not get short down here. There's previous day point of control. There is the sweep on that liquidity. Here is the drive up, and very possible now they set a squeeze for continuation. If you want to see that liquidity that I'm talking about, think about this level here, this afternoon pullback wick. All right, you can see we swept it and turned inside. Swept it and turned inside. Happens a lot to me as well, Bay Trader. Yeah, it's very annoying, isn't it? Stops me sizing in too much. If I can't move my stop, then my risk management's out the window. Oh, big old drive. About to take up the daily high here, or session high, I should say. Let's see how high we can go. Can we get all the way up to view up and then maybe trade all the way up to those Asia London highs? SPY now and ES. SPY through its view up, ES at its view up right here, right now. I'd like to join this on a pullback. I want this sort of inverted head and shoulder to set. I just want to be careful of the time here. Main news at 10 o'clock. But I do want to be involved. Don't just go without me, you little bugger. Oh, Ninja, why do you do this? Why do you do this? You make my life so much harder than it needs to be. Yulamar, yeah, I got long as soon as I saw this turn here and we started to build this volume signature here. I started grabbing long. I'm out of it now, unfortunately, because I couldn't move my stop. As soon as I can't move my stop in NinjaTrader, I take a trade off. The last thing I want in NinjaTrader is to not be able to manage my risk, right? So I have very strict rules. If I can't move my stop to manage my risk, and I get those error messages, I take the trade off. That's what happens. So looking for a pullback here to hold. I'm very, very cautious here because ES has traded into its view up, finding a bit of a rejection here. Range on this is pretty big, right? Watch the volatility. Range in this is pretty big. Or range in this morning session is already 140 points. All right, I would like a drift down here to come and back test 400. It looks like it's just going to keep squeezing. Can it take out this high towards 46s, I guess, is the question. Ay. Yeah, stuck at its view up right now. I'd love a little dip here. Market looks pretty good here, other than Apple. The rest of the market's looking pretty strong here for that morning bounce. QQQ at its view up. SPY well through its view up. ES not there yet, or like is banging on it, let's say. Not through it yet is what I should say. Do we set a pullback here, or is this just a big squeeze to get sold into? Oh. How far can this H1 just went wick to wick, interestingly. Did just go wick to wick. How long we got? 30 seconds. I think we've got news 9:45 and then more news 10 o'clock. I stuck at view up here on the ES. Let's see. Let's see if we can get that drive up all the way up into Asia London high would be mega. If we can get up to 620s and then previous day high, it would be really, really good. Some news hitting the tape here. Remember, we're in a range. We're inside previous day range right now. Can they create that inverted head and shoulder, or do we just wash all the way back down to low of day in the New York sessions? Possible. We left that imbalance there. It was a big squeeze up. We can come right back down to it. If they can't set a bullish move in here, right, for this move up, if they get weak in here, we can come and reprice this. We'd like to see it hold here for this move upside. That's what I'd like to see. Yep, 9:45 and 10 o'clock. We're at 9:45 now, so it's not really red folder news until I think it's 10 o'clock. No, why the rallies are severe and not what you call squeeze? Are those not what you call squeezes to short into? Why would I short into shorts getting squeezed? Definitely not. We're nowhere near supply. No reason for me to short here. Even if this fails down here, we're at demand, right? We've shown a signature right now. It's unwilling. It's taking liquidity and it's moving up. I'm not. Why would I want to be short near demand? Even if it comes down here, why would I want to be short near demand? We've just gone over that, Gary. No interest. I'll get short when we come up to, or I think about getting short when we put in bearish signatures into levels of supply. Maybe once we sweep liquidities and we fail. If we get through that, maybe all the way up here. It might be, like I said, it might be that it pulls back all the way into here and we just trade in this range, and that's also fine. But I'm not going to guess this top and hope that we roll over. So ES rejecting VWAP. ES rejecting its VWAP right now. We are still just inside right now. I've got a feeling this is going to be a choppy day by the looks of it. We've got an inside bars and we're inside the initial balance. Initial balance is currently 140 points big. We're coming back to that level we just came out of. And market's starting to go red. Tesla giving back, Nvidia giving back, Apple in quite a strong sell here, 1.25% down. That is relative weakness on the day. I'm starting to sweat here. I'm a bit concerned I've picked up some bug or virus. Not very nice. Oh. Not very nice. Oh, do not feel good at all today. There is a seller up here, just came on the tape. All right, 900 lot, all the way up at 462. So 900 lot up at 462. Yeah, I'm running a temp. So let's see, repricing this last move. Do they catch it here and try and do this drive up, or do we just range rotate? Like we said, on the higher time frame, we can very, very much go into one of those sort of, I don't know what you call it, megaphone, tulip pattern, whatever you want to call it, and go and like search liquidity both sides. Very, very easy for a market to go and do that today because we're in a big inside day. Look at yesterday's bar. We're in a massive inside day right now. Yeah, exactly. Broadening pattern, whatever you want to call it. That's what we're in right now. A big rejection of VWAP there on ES, telling a bit of a tale here. Back down to our demand pool right now. And this feels like it's probably going to take out one side of liquidity and then take out the other side of liquidity. And this is a good day for me to probably feel ill because it probably won't trade. Back down towards previous day point of control. Mixed bag in the mag. Total mixed bag in the mag 7. What did VIX do? VIX did not quite taking the liquidity up at 24.78. Got up to 24.40. This looks like it's going to rotate here. Looks like it's going to rotate here. How many trades do I usually take? Depends on each day. I'd say 3 or 4 probably. It really depends on the day. So ES, SPY back down to PDC and finding a bid off PDC now. So definitely feels like range rotation here. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And they're probably going to do it until we get that 10 o'clock number. Right, do buyers come back in here and protect? Or do they sell through and create a new low of day? Yeah, exactly. Peter, same as me. Like, I'm not feeling well anyway. If we're going to stay an inside day and just go back and forth, those are the days I like to avoid. Right, those are definitely the days I like to avoid. We're trading sideways right now. We've gone from a nice trend pre-market to creating range. Here's our range. So either we get out of this or we just chop, 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 which is what it feels like to me at the moment. Okay, right now it feels like a bit of a choppy market. Not surprising, because I wouldn't want to be a new money short in this market, but I really wouldn't. I don't think I'd want to be swing. You tell I'm not well. I wouldn't want to be swing long either. So really, either shorts start to cover, and we're thinking about that bit of retracement higher, which is what started to happen yesterday. If they start to unwind some of their positions, but it's not like we're having positive news hit the market to get us out of this big sell-off that we've been in now for what, 10 days, something like that. You need a bit of news to change that, right? So really, new, if we're actually going to move upside significantly, you would think it either comes from big short covering or some news. So again, back and forth here, back to PDC, back to yesterday's VWAP. Let's get rid of that, and it's anchor 1 to today's open. What was the opening bell here? It's today, pretty much same place. So it's average price from the last 2 days, really. Crawford, I'm up 1,555 and out for the day. Lovely work. Lovely work. SPY back to VWAP, trying to trade through VWAP again here. SPY trying to trade through its VWAP again here. VIX finding a little bit of trouble here in these sort of 24s, high 24s, but still in a solid uptrend here on the VIX. I am watching this. I am watching this carefully in this market right now. SPY back to VWAP. Do they start selling this VWAP again, or are they going to let this through? Most market trying to go green here. Apple, the week one today. Google down 0.14%. Microsoft up 2/3%. Amazon up. It's fluctuating around. Market's moving fast. Almost 0.5%. Meta up 0.81%. Nvidia now green, up 0.22%. Tesla up 0.5%. So back and forth, back and forth. They can't really make their mind up. We don't have alignment here for anything. All right, it has the chance to do both things right now. We've left liquidity here if it wants to come down internally. We've left liquidity here if it wants to come up 1, 2, 3 wicks there, asking to get swept at some point, but might be later on in the day. Look at this. Just as quickly as I said market was starting to turn upside, it starts to sell off again. Nvidia now red, Google now red, Apple remains red. Apple, the bigger seller today, 1.5% down. That is relative weakness. Nothing in the market is that far down, right? The NQ is almost flat, 0.15% down. ES is up 0.06% up. YM up 1/3%. RTY 0.75% down. And then you've got Apple 1.5% down. So relative weakness today in Apple. Remember, Apple is the biggest stock in the market, has the biggest weight in both the ES and NQ, but more in NQ because it's tech-based. Literally nothing to do here. News coming in just over 5 minutes. So here you go. New lows coming in this market. What a load of trash. This is telling me, leave me alone for the day. Like we went over yesterday, some days you want to trade, some days you don't. Like my checklist today already didn't feel well. This is an internal day. This is gross. If we're just going to hang around and do this all day, this is not what I'm interested in touching. Not one bit. Market just lacks confidence to do much right now. We are in trade wars. And Trump said absolutely nothing that we didn't know last night. It was 3 hours of nothing, basically, in terms of what the market was looking for. Yeah, it's only been 25 minutes, Red Don, but I can already tell it's the daily bar. I can already tell. Look at the daily bar. We're inside and we're hanging around key levels. I don't want to participate here. The daily bar. Unless we're going to make some moves. What I'm not going to do is trade in that megaphone pattern. No way. I'm not going to become part of the liquidity. I talk about it every day. What I do not want to do, I'm not interested really in a short between these. I'd much rather have a long back up to here into the top of the range. If it does this, maybe, but right now, with the market so indecisive on what it's trying to do, it's going to make it very, very tricky. We had one decent trade, which was after a sweep, a rotation back up, and since then just drifting down. That's telling me that buyers are not really interested in taking this upside right now, and I'm not really interested in being a short seller in the hole today. Right, we know that this area here is dangerous. I don't really want to be a short seller. I know we have unfinished business down here, but I'd rather miss all of this. Where would I want to get short? I don't want to get short all the way up here. That's where I'm interested in getting short, in one of these blocks, not down here. So I'm going to stick to my rules. Three minutes left until that news comes. Yeah, Ty, yesterday afternoon was awesome. So really, the ES is showing itself, right? It had that morning drive to view up, and it got stuck there, and it got slammed. We're already trading 30 points down on the ES from that drive up into view up. Just telling the picture. I don't think there's new shorts in this market, but there's not much covering. There's no new money buyers. VIX now starting to go, right? VIX breaking out here. So VIX trying to trade up towards previous day high. So how it acts into this, we've got a little supply block on here, 25.65, 25 into 25.65. Let's think about that with a fib. Previous day high to that low, trading into golden pocket here on the VIX. So if VIX gets stuck here, market might get some relief. If it's going to go all the way up for previous day high on a VIX, market's going to go all the way down for previous day low. SPY coming down into its demand area, right? The same area that NQ hit this morning, where we found that bid and took that long. SPY now coming into. Same with the ES, all right? So they were lagging behind. They didn't, and they haven't taken out the wick either. They're close, but they didn't steal the liquidity. Look at this turn upside. Back to previous day POC here. This is gross. It varies, Coop, really. I'm looking at the hourlies, and then I zoom down into like a 15-minute or 5-minute. So mainly I'm looking at the hourlies for the wick levels and 4 key levels, and then I zoom down. I start going down into like 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute if I have to. No worries, buddy. So book's starting to thin out a bit here. And that big 900 lot just left the building while we come into news. My charts are frozen now on that drive. Wow. Wow. I love that they freeze before doing it. Fantastic. Here you go. So we're going to go back for those Asia-London highs now, I would imagine. I love that you get frozen charts for that. So all of that nonsense this morning to find some news to drive higher. Got to let this cool down for a second here. It's a big candle there. My Ninja and my Trading View, every piece of data got frozen there on that drive. Clearing out high of day here. Like we said, this is what we wanted. We wanted the upside move. It just had to do the nonsense for the news. Of course it did. Of course it did. I had to play around for news first. So again, same thing. Are we going to do that inverted head and shoulder look? Or are we just going to reject after sweeping the highs? ES still beneath VWAP. Coming back down now towards those flow zones. Watching now these sort of potential RBS levels. Here, if they're going to hold, if this was just a clear out, we just go all the way back down. It's also possible. All right, it is also possible. Don't rule that out. Very, very whipsaw market this morning. Like we said, we have an inside bar. It has the chance to form that higher low on an hourly. Yes, didn't sweep the highs. It did. It did for me. The session highs, it definitely did for me. So looking to see if we convert. I'm really not well. Looking to see if we can make an inverted head and shoulder, like right shoulder here for a drive higher. Otherwise, what's going to happen? We're going to feel this imbalance come all the way back down and then probably wash out. I would like to see this drive higher though. For me, it makes sense for this to try and drive higher, but if it's unwilling to do so, you can't step in front of it. Right, in the moment, every push-up is failing in this market. Every single push-up is failing. On TradingView, it took it. I'm not looking on Ninja for ES. Okay, so filling that imbalance. It's trying to find a bid here. I'm just going to try and check this news. See if there's anything else hitting. 53.5 versus 52.5. Previous 52.8. Durable goods, 0. Revised that. That's pretty much in line. Pretty much in line here. So waiting again here, can we build this liquidity? This is what I'm looking to join for this explosion upside if it's going to go. If we're going to get through that, I want to see us drive all the way up to 630 and then really to 730s, and a base above 730, 800 opens the door for a squeeze higher on H1. Failure to do that means we just trade inside yesterday's range. Okay, current point of control on the day is 550 in the overnight session. Nightbot is feisty. What's it telling you off for? Normally capitals or something. Yeah. Brad, Alex, I've been loving the course, so detailed. Oh, I'm glad to hear that, buddy. All right, so potential inverted head and shoulder here. ES right at VWAP. If we're going to get going, it's going to have to start going now, basically. If we're going to do it, it's got to do it now. It's got to stop fanning around. All right, so this is the right shoulder for this potential squeeze. If it's going to do it, it's got to start going now. It's got the chance here. It's built the liquidity. It has a chance to go higher. It needs market in unison to do it. Otherwise, we're still in a range, aren't we? We're still inside the initial balance. We're still inside the overnight range right now, right? We're banging on the sort of Asia low right now. So we're still inside that. We're still inside the daily. There's no breakouts in this market right now. No breakout traders in this market right now. ES again, stuck at the VWAP. You would think that they will let it through and let it drift higher here, you would think, but an unwillingness. Now that seller's back on the tape. So he's just come back, 900 lot at 475. 900 lot at 475. Remember, if he's the same guy as that 1,000 lot that was around last week, he's absolutely loved manipulating the tape a lot. All right? A lot. So just be aware of that. He's had no problem manipulating the tape. We bang into VWAP here on the Qs. Market's looking pretty good to me here. It's just Apple that's weak. Rest of the market now going green. But can they extend through this seller? He's moved up now into 500. Like I said, he's manipulating around just like he did last week. It's the same guy. I've got no doubt about it. So he's at 500 now. He's looking to get filled at 500. Just under 1,000 lot there. 900 now. 900 lot. So building liquidity here. We either do that right shoulder for that drive up, which is what I'd like to see, or we fail all the way back down. And if we fail, we're going to go and test initial balance low, and that's going to be ugly for the rest of the day. That's going to tell you we're in a range rotation day. A no bueno day, that would be. If we can get going in this market, it would be, you know, fun, because then we'd have some range upside and we'd have a potential better short setting up later in the week. Well, you've got a flag here, so you know you either bought that dip into that imbalance, you either bought the flow zone dip, or you're going to buy the breakout of the flag here. It depends what type of trader you are, Nate. Either you're looking for a flag, or you bought this dip in here into this imbalance for this drive higher. All right. Right on previous week low here as well. It's a big level. These are big, big levels. Multi-time frame traders playing against this right now. If we get acceptance through previous week low, remember that was key yesterday. So here it goes, starting to try and break that flag now. Squeezing upside. It's got potential to get going here on the day. If we can just confirm a bid. We need a bid to come through. We need this seller to bugger off out of 500, right? Get out our way, Mr. Seller at 500. Here we go. Fantastic. So I'm in this long. I'd like, part of me is like, hold this all day, see if we can get to previous day high, but it's probably a bit greedy in this type of market. Your ninja is lagging, is it? I'm not having lag on my ninja. In the news candle, it definitely stopped, but so did TradingView. So all data got frozen there while they shuffled around. So here you go, looking good here, team. Here's the inverted shoulder. Same thing we're looking for here. It obviously needed to trap more and then do it. And now you're looking for a drive up. So London, if we can get all the way to London, you're looking at 634. All right, I know that's very far away, but if you can get to London, you're looking at 634. That'd be a big old trade for you if you can get up there. Needs to base here, has to hold these bids here for continuation trades. Still got that seller, remember, 500. At 500, you have a 900 lot seller. We came just shy of him. He's still on the tape, so he is legit looking to get filled there. Does it build another flag here? Watching the tape. So potential lower time frame RBS level trying to hold right now. Can they get that drift higher? You don't want to see failure here underneath VWAP. You don't want to see lots of weakness coming underneath VWAP because they're front running the sell into that guy at 500. You want to see this start to base out and hold. This is not really what you want to see. It's got to absorb into this level where we found bids from. Little bit choppy here. We have a chance to move higher today. We really have a chance to move back into the top side of the range here. But if it keeps failing, you've got to respect it. Don't want to see it. Just build that trend line liquidity. It needs to get going here. Don't want to see it do this nonsense. All right, this is how we come and get swept. I want to see it do this and go, and do this and go. Trying to look at my potential targets if we're going to get going. Liking this less and less by the second, but VIX is trading downside here. It did sweep though. VIX trying to find a bid. I want to see VIX stay heavy. If VIX doesn't stay heavy, this I'm going to take this trade off. ES failing, VWAP. Not what you want to see. You want to see this soak back up over VWAP here on ES. VIX finding a bit of a bid here. Again, not what you want to see here. Alignment not fully playing out yet. And that seller still there at 500. We didn't get to him. We got close. What was the top of the range? We got to 97. We were 3 points shy of him. ES trying to reclaim its VWAP here. Oh, this market's not going to move today. It's going to be one of those days. It's going to be a choppy day. Failing to go. There you go. VIX finding a bid, coming back downside. So out of this now. I'll re-enter if I need. One of those days. We're not going to get follow through. I should already know that. Should already know that. Inside bars. Flow zone's flat. I'll re-enter this if we get going. Need VIX to reject previous day close here. I'll re-enter if we get going here. If we build out and go. Back to VWAP. Can we get going here? ES through VWAP. SPY holding VWAP. Come on, VIX. Start failing. We have that trade up to London Asia high. It's very possible we get up to that London high there, the Globex high. That's what I'd like to see. It offers good trade. Lots of room to get up there. That seller still at 500 here. All right, he's still there on the tape at 500. What I'm enjoying less is this shape of this liquidity being built. Yuck. This is not what I want to see. All right, this has got to expand now and then offer a pullback versus here. Do not want to see this, because if we keep getting stuck up here, they're going to come and sweep everyone out. This is not what you want to see when you're looking for bullish continuation. Everyone's scared of that guy. That's why he's positioned up there. Everyone's selling into him. That is not a joke of a size. 900 lot on the tape is not a joke. Look at the average tape around everywhere else. 5 lot, 15 lot, 8 lot. 900 lot, gross. And he's trying to wall it. And he'll probably move in a bit as well. Is that your 900? Yeah, if you're a billionaire, maybe. Yeah, look at the liquidity. The way it's being built is not nice here. ES can't hold a bid over its VWAP. SPY coming back to VWAP. I'm just going to get a refill on my coffee here and come back, team. All right, still dancing here. It's still got the ability to build liquidity here. All right, it's just got to do the dance. It's got to do the dance. It's just got to wait around here. Let's have a look. Jack, is that your 900? Yeah. Guess what? He's moved down now. All right, he's moved down to 475 now. All right, he's moved down on the tape. So he's jostling around. So looks like he's actually trying to get sold into. Yeah. Yeah, same, Chris. We said we got an inside bar. It's likely to build chop. We ideally just wanted that rotation play because it is the best play to play out today. I don't want to get short down here. I would much rather see a rotation back up towards those overnight highs. Probably an easier trade. Waiting for Fed minutes. Yeah, it's beige book, isn't it, later? I mean, I don't see why. Possibly, you might well be right. I just think that we're in an inside bar and the market doesn't know what to do right now. Like, we had a huge range yesterday. We had that short squeeze in the afternoon. We're in an inside bar. Market isn't really sure what it wants to do. There's been no positive news to make the market think, okay, we're definitely going higher. There's no more negative news to hit, but there's nothing good in this market right now. So it's just tricky. It's just tricky. It's what happens. We're stuck. We're stuck in a range towards the weekly lower Bollinger Bands, daily lower Bollinger Bands. SPY wasn't too far away from that 200 SMA on the daily yesterday. It's just, it is what it is. You know, we're in indecision territory right now. Like I said, everyone was waiting for that speech last night from Trump, and it offered nothing. It actually offered absolutely nothing. I mean, if you like hearing I'm the best at everything, then it was a good speech. But in actual reality of what we look for in the market for macro views in economy, there was nothing said there to give an inclination of what we're going to look like, other than saying, you know, reciprocal tariffs are going to start on April the 2nd, which is also not really what the market wanted to hear. So drifting all the way back down. Here's our range on the day. That's it. So we peaked the top by 1. Like we said, we built this liquidity this way. This is not what you want to see if you're looking for bullish continuation. We might come and sweep this now and then. Maybe if it really wants to go back upside, it can, and it can also just fail. So there's too many 50-50s at play. And look at the flow zones. They're flat. They're flat right now. VIX swept, found a bid, now at PDC. Not what you want to see. Yeah, exactly. Inside 15-minute range. I think it's probably inside the opening 5-minute. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? It's still inside the opening 5-minute. If you look at the opening 5-minute, everything, each side of it has failed. Lower side's failed, upper side's failed. Yep, same. Exactly, Peter. Same as me. Zero interest right now in doing anything. Back to previous day close here on the ES. Catch you later, Peter. Yeah, we go again tomorrow. Hopefully I'm feeling better for tomorrow as well. I might do the same shortly. I might take myself back to bed. Really not feeling too good. Yeah, Friday is NFP. Big data on Friday. This hourly bar is not looking good. Not looking good right now. Big pin bar to the top. Failed to take out hourly highs. Those twin hourly highs like we always talk about. Failed to take them out yet again. So NQ continues to leave liquidity on hourly bars. Again, making our life much, much harder recently. Seller on the book just keeps moving down. He's trying to walk it down, but never getting filled here. Now he's at 425. Never getting filled. I want to see if they drive up and scare him into actually getting filled here. So he went from 475 up to 500 when it got close to him. Lifted his order, put it up higher. Never filled him. Then he moved it down to 475. Never filled him. Now he's left. What a spoofer. And now he's left. This is what I mean. This is the same guy as last week. This is full on. This is proper manipulation. People talk about market manipulation. This guy is actually trying to manipulate the market with his size. Now he's come back on again. Now just above 400. So anytime he's scared about getting filling, he leaves. And then when it moves away from him, he comes back on. What's that telling me? He's trying to walk it down without getting filled. He's trying to scare the market to move lower right now, but he's not actually interested in getting filled. So I'm interested. At what price is he actually interested in getting filled? Is he actually a buyer looking to get filled lower, trying to scare the market lower so he can scoop it up. It's possible. That is some serious size and some serious spoofing. You'll never prove he's spoofing because he's putting the order back on and pulling it back on. So he could just say, hey, I was nervous about getting filled there, or however he wants to frame it, you know. But he's definitely scaring the market away from him. Definitely scaring the market away from him. Look at this drive. Again, he was never filled. Pulled it, put it on. Pulled it, put it on. Pulled it, put it on. Walking it down, never getting filled. Anytime it got close, he pulls his order. Full on manipulation in the tape. I talked about this last week. I do not like trading when we've got this player of 1,000 lot messing around with the tape. He did the same thing all last week. It is not fun trading when you've got participants doing that. So back to point of control now. ES finding a bid off its demand again. VIX still driving higher. Nothing to do here, folks. Like, this is the type of day where you can lose everything. Just be smart, be patient. We've had a couple goes. I think we had one winner and one break even. No reason to force your way into this market. If it doesn't want to move outside of range, why play? If you're a good range trader, maybe there's something in good range. If you're a good range trader, maybe there's something in here for you. But for me, I don't like trading ranges, like we know. I like trading when we're starting to move properly, what I call properly. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's all we're doing. I don't know, Chris. I'm not watching the tape on ES. You'll have to look yourself. The trade NQ, so I'm watching tape on NQ. And just click on your DOM and have a look. See if there's anyone on there. So just above 400 now. He's walked all the way down to just above 400 now. What a joker. What a joker. Yeah, I'm quiet, not feeling well, and nothing to do here. Zero to do here, folks. Zero to do here. Leaving liquidity both sides. I'm not going to get short in the hole, and I'm not going to bid off here when we're just showing constant weakness and the inability to move higher. I'm not going to be the guy looking to hold the market up. I want to follow people that are actually interested in holding the market up if we're going to get a cover, and we're not getting that today. Right, VIX still drifting higher. That's not something that I'm looking to get long into. Chris, oh, just checking the DOM. I don't have Ninja Trader or anything, so don't access the DOM. What do you have then, Chris? You must have level 2. If you've got data, you should have level 2, no matter what you're looking at. Yeah, that's what I used. Oh, TradingView has a DOM. If you've got data, TradingView does have level 2. If you've got data. Which you should have if you're trading. You'd have data. I've never traded on Robinhood, but I would assume it has level 2 on it. Oh, and I've just lost connection. Ooh, that's not a good sign. There we go. I'm back. Always a worry when that happens. All right, so market doing absolutely nothing. Range tightening up. Here's the main range on the day. Failure above, failure below, failure below. All right, so this is the main range. This is failure. Had the chance to get going, failed. Like we said, this liquidity, the way it was being built is gross. That's what I was telling you guys. This is not what you want to see for bullish continuation. You wanted to see this. It's very different to building out liquidity this way. And we're back to previous day point of control. All right, we're back to the same levels over and over and over again. And the market now starting to look weak. Apple over 2% down. Not good for the market, this. Google 0.5% down. Nvidia 1/3% down. Tesla 0.5% down. Meta 0.17% up. Amazon 0.5% up. Microsoft 0.75% up. This is not confluential. All right, you do not have a market in sync. The Mag 7 are all doing different things. All doing totally different things. That should be telling you enough to think, hey, this market doesn't know what it wants to do. If we were going to get a solid rebound off demand, you would expect the Mag 7, maybe other than Tesla, to be moving in unison, and it's not. All right, so just be risk off here. And guess what? That big 900 lot is moved down again without getting filled. All right, so he's just scaring the market into walking lower. He's stair-stepping it down without getting filled. He's now just above 350. I guarantee if we move up there, he pulls his bid again. Pulls his offer, I should say. So he's got a 900 lot. He was here. We sold it in front of him because we got scared. Moved down. Then he was here. We sold in front of him because he got scared. And we moved down. Then he was here. We never even got up to him. Then he's here. And now he is about here, just above this. All right, and I bet you if we move up to him, he removes it. 900 lot is not a joke. I can't do the maths, but it's millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. So here is the move. Let's see if he's actually genuine. I bet you he pulls his offer. Maybe a wash of the lows. You mean on the IBL? Yeah, very possibly. You've got 30 seconds left until you set the initial balance. We can think about that initial balance trade, but even that I like less and less and less. I just don't like anything in here. Let's think about what we've done this morning from the open. Here's the open. Drift down, sweep. Drift up, get trapped. Drift down, resweep. Drift up, have the ability to move higher, fail. Drift down, back to bottom of the range. Is there anything in here you want to trade? This was the best opportunity for a continuation and it failed. Right, so buyers couldn't take control. So right now, maybe you're right. Maybe they come down here and then they want to wash all the way down here. But again, I don't want to be short in these levels. I really don't like the short at these levels. Here's your IB now being set, these purple dots, which will start to turn into purple lines shortly. Look at the 15-minute bars. That's telling a story this morning. Absolutely nothing. Nothing on these 15-minute bars to play. Exactly. Barcode on the M15. That's exactly it. So barcode on the M15. There is nothing to play here. So we're coming back into where that seller is. Let's see if he wants to actually get filled here. We've got buyers on the tape now down at 20,200 and 20,175 just starting to appear. Guess what? He moved up. As soon as it got close to him, he moved up. You have a full-on market manipulator in the tape. You can actually see him today. This is not like retail screaming, it's market manipulation. There's actually a guy manipulating the tape today. You can see him. All you have to do is get bookmap up. You will see him. Right, he is there in the tape. As soon as we got close to him, he moved up. Right, he has no interest in actually getting filled. None whatsoever. It's a good lesson for you guys today. If you've got the tape up, really good lesson. I think he's probably a buyer, Leron. All right, I think he's probably a buyer. So he's acting like a seller, trying to walk it down. And I think he's probably got a price that he wants to buy the market at. Remember, he's successfully moved the market down over 150 points now without getting filled. If he's buying slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly, and then he removes his offer altogether, where's the market going to go? All the way back upside. And he's managed to get a nice, low, cheap price for himself by walking the market lower. And then he was the resistance the whole way, and he didn't even really exist. So very, very possible. Very, very possible. We will never know until it becomes obvious. But if he faked selling here, faked selling here, faked selling here, and faked selling here, and he was actually a buyer here, and maybe he wants to buy really low down here, and then he removes his selling, or there's no resistance, and we go upside, and he makes all that money from being a buyer while pretending to sell on the way down. So 400, he's at 400 now. Let's see if he's actually at 400, shall we? Why would he be at 400? Let's have a look. So here we go. I reckon he's just been buying and accumulating here. And I reckon we might go upside. Yeah, Lee Kim, I don't even think that, because that would be him showing himself, right? He won't pop up. He would have been buying every time we drip lower, 50 lot, 50 lot, 50 lot, 50 lot, because you won't notice him. Do you know what I mean? If he just put 1,000 lot there, it'd be really obvious. He's probably been buying 50, 50, 50, 50, and he might want to drift it even lower to get his full fill, for example. Again, we came right up towards him. He's at 400. We're not far away from him. Didn't get filled. ES and SPY at PDC right now. Let's see. Remember, we've got liquidity down here. If we're going to do this sort of cup look, then we can come down here and sweep this. But like we said, I don't want to get short down here, which is why I'm not playing the short down here right now. I think this might drift higher. All right? I think this has been a guy messing around with the tape all morning, and this has got a good chance to start drifting higher if we start taking out some key levels here. What's going to matter here is ES keeps going between its demand box and previous day close. If it gets through there and starts to reclaim VWAP, same with SPY. If we start to reclaim VWAP, we trade back into the top side of the range. Remember, he's at 400. Let's see if he's legit. We're getting close to him. We're getting close to him. They're going to go and reach for him. Let's see if he is legit here. Guess what? He just moved up to 450. Oh, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Starting to reclaim levels here, all right? This guy is in the tape. I reckon he's been buying this, all right? So maybe we can get up towards here now. Thanks, Arturo. Watch your ATR, folks, right? Because we are still around like 50 points per M1 candle. So if you're considering playing anything, just watch your ATR. Yeah, global max. I always say it's worth emailing them direct, because a lot of times they're off. If you email them, tell them what you're interested in trading, sometimes they will offer you a better deal than is available on the website. Definitely worth emailing them. So are we going to break out here? Is this going to start to squeeze upside? Remember, now he's at 450. He's trying to get filled all the way up at 450. ES is starting to hold above PDC here. SPY tapped into VWAP. Hasn't reclaimed VWAP, but it did tap into VWAP. Here we go. This might be it. Market's starting to get going now. And come up to the top side of this range. Watch New York open. Watch VWAP. Apple trying to find a bit of a bid here, clawing some of the damage back. Tesla now green, 0.5% up. Nvidia 0.5% up. Meta 0.75% up. Amazon 1.12% up. Microsoft 1% up. Market's trying to get going here. Market is trying to get going. Maybe we've built enough liquidity. We're going to have to find out, though. All right, we're going to have to find out, because it's messed around quite a lot today. Remember, the seller now at 450. Let's see if he removes. I reckon he's going to disappear. And the reason I think that is because he's done it numerous times already. I'm watching him to see if he's going to be there or if he's just going to lift. Guarantee you he lifts it. 450. It's right in front of VWAP. See, we're front selling in front of VWAP and in front of him again. If he lifts this, we can pop right up towards high of day. We're a bit extended now, so we might need to pull back before it does it. But we tapped into VWAP here. ES doing exactly the same. Everything around VWAP right now. Some selling coming in there in front of him. He's still not been filled, just so you're aware. He has not been filled. 900 lot on the tape. He's still there. He's just sat there. Yes, finding sellers at VWAP. SPY got above it, pulling back into it now. Let's see if it finds a bid here or around this kind of area. Remember, we had sellers up here earlier. This is where sellers came. This is where buyers been all day. This is the range in between it. He's at 450. If we pop through this, if these sellers become buyers, we have the chance for expansion. Until then, we're going to just assume range rotation. IB high, VWAP. VWAP towards IB low. IB low, VWAP. We hold VWAP, maybe towards IB high. Jack. Mate, if you're using 900 lot and you're guessing tops and bottoms, you're nuts, man. I know your guessing tops and bottom days are done. Those ended yesterday. I know it. I know it. Whale in the market. Jack Hodkins, our whale in the market. Just tell us, mate, and we'll just follow you. Just tell us what you're doing, and we'll just get behind you, yeah? Make our life easy. So ES tags VWAP, cannot get a push through it. It's tried, and it can't do it. It's pulling back and building liquidity now. Yeah, last week he was trading with like 3,000-4,000 lots, like staggering 1,000 lots, and he was getting filled both sides of the tape. He was just playing around with it last week. Today, though, you can see it on the book map. You can see that his historical where he's moving. You can literally see him walk down, walk up, walk down, walk up. Brian Shannon, he did exactly the same thing. Same thing with what? What do you mean? Brian Shannon, the VWAP trader, what did he do when you say he did exactly the same thing? What do you mean? Manipulated the tape, do you mean? Yeah, exactly, Jack. It's just, this is what the market is right now. Market's showing its conditions. We have to respect these conditions. Yeah. I've never heard Brian Shannon talk about that, but it's very common. So here we go. Filled this. Can it get all the way back up towards the drive of the top? It's what it's trying to do. It's trying to get going here. It's trying to get to VWAP. ES holding PDC. It's trying. That last dip started to soak and hold. Mid-range here. You're just mid-range. You're on the New York VWAP, that green line. Nothing to really do here, folks. You're in you're in a 226 point range in the initial balance. We haven't taken either side of the initial balance. We're just creating liquidity. This is one of the things we said could potentially happen today, was just build liquidity. It's what we're doing right now. This liquidity will be used, whether it's later in this session or later in the week, it will be used, right? There's a lot of people in this market trapped right now. Right? There's probably a decent amount of shorts trapped down here, and I would imagine there's a decent amount of longs up here now who are trapped. That's why we washed down and they start getting out break even. They caused this pullback to here. This is longs trapped in the market. So we just got to let it build out. The easier trade is when we're going to come and take liquidity. Either then we base and we go, or we fail and we trade all the way back down. Right? I don't want to really trade down here. I wanted the longs for the potential range rotation up here, but I've had 2 stabs at it. 2 stabs is enough. I had 2 stabs. I think I had this to here, and or was it this one? It might have been this to here, and I think we had to go at this. And once it did this, I was like, no, that is ugly. Morning, Greg. Morning, everyone. Slower day today, I know, but this is just how it is. I can't control the market. Some days we get really nice plays. Other days, this is what we get. If you're a range trader, though, maybe it's offering you something. Maybe some of you are range traders and you're trading this nicely. Crawford, yeah, like barely. I'm up on 1 trade. Still feel like this is going to get going. Here he is, 450, 450 on deck. Are we going to come into him? Are we going to just front run into him because everyone's too scared? They don't realize he's not real. ES cannot get through its VWAP. SPY dangling on VWAP. We are in a choppy day. Hopefully you guys are not over trading this or not blowing your accounts. Hopefully you're sitting out. Let everyone else build the liquidity for you. We can come back and trade this tomorrow or later today, whenever. Let everyone else build the liquidity for you. Do not become part of the liquidity, all right? Do not become part of the liquidity. You notice the guys on stream who make money every day, guys like Peter, they already left. They were like, no, this is rubbish. I'm not trading it. Yeah, Nate, I'd love to see the interview that you're talking about. Definitely. If you find it, definitely send it. Possibly the afternoon trades. I was thinking afternoon might be worse, but I don't know now. I'm definitely not coming back this afternoon. I'm telling you. As soon as I get off stream, I'm going straight back to bed. I am absolutely dripping. Like my palms are like sweaty. I'm not feeling good. I don't know if it's something I've eaten or what it is, but I'm not feeling very well right now. Hopefully, get some rest and I'll be back to normal tomorrow. That's my hope. So again, we're stuck. Remember, sellers up here, buyers down here. Here's your rotation between them so far. Hasn't got up in there to force these sellers to become buyers. Hasn't got underneath here to force these buyers to become sellers. So we just rotate. Book's starting to thin out as well. All right, so you've got a player 128 lot down at 300, and you've got this 900 lot down at 450, and nothing else is happening. And market's starting to rotate. So Nvidia now going red, Tesla now going red, Google now going red. It just can't make its mind up. Why can't it make its mind up? It has to build liquidity. We're in an inside bar, and nothing, absolutely nothing has been said to help this market move out the current range. Trump did nothing last night. It was a big nothing burger. It was basically just an ego rally for 2 hours of how great he is. But there was no actual important information, right? There was nothing important in there. It was nothing we hadn't already heard. And there was nothing really said on tariffs to calm the market down. In fact, possibly quite the opposite. So rotation back towards the lows again. What an ugly market. UGLY, you ain't got no alibi, you ugly. Yeah, this market is ugly. ES has been selling VWAP all day long. All day long, ES has been selling VWAP so far. Gross. Gross. I'm probably going to wait 10 minutes here, folks, to the new hourly bar. I'm not going to make it till lunch with you. I'm just not feeling up to it today, I'm afraid. Look at this. What is this nonsense? Again, leaves the top here, fails. Failed to break out, fails. Back down to where we started to squeeze from. Previous day point of control. Do I want a short here? No. Do I want a long here? No. We need to get above this. I'm not interested in anything inside this right now. I'm ignoring all flow zones because they're just doing this. We're not in a trend day, so I don't care about the flow zones. They will keep giving you mixed signals. Oh, what a load of crap. How long we got left? 9 minutes until lunch. 9 minutes. Oh, 9 minutes until lunch. Some of you have DM'd me on Discord. I'll get back to you shortly. All right, as soon as I'm done in this session. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 9 minutes till. You're right. 9 minutes until I leave. Sorry, I'm so used to saying it. 9 minutes till 11 o'clock, and 9 minutes till I leave. Sorry, Cat. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me there. So finding a bid of previous day point of control again. And where are we going to go to? Probably back towards VWAP again. And then what do we do? Who knows? Are they going to let it through finally? Who knows? This is terrible, man. Honestly, folks, I would really advise you to stay out of this. Set price alerts for the key levels and stay out of it. Look at this. Look at this. This is not a joke. These candles are no joke. These will absolutely kill you if you're the wrong side of these. Just set price alerts, let it confirm something, and then get involved. Don't bother until then. Max, I know you have a Discord for those who got your course, but just to grow, why not have open public version and a members area? Because then I just get filled with spam. I've been in Discords like that before. You just get filled with spam and people coming in to send nonsense, and it just becomes problematic. I've thought about it. I just think it becomes problematic. I have thought about it though. Maybe one day, but at the moment, it's not. It's just how can I put this? My main priority is for looking after my students, and if they're getting distracted by, I know you're saying it wouldn't be a members one, it would be a separate one, but if they're getting distracted by that, it'd be a problem, I think. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, see, look, my students understand. They're already like, please, we don't need the drama. Yeah, and having been on YouTube now for a little bit and having stuff like that come in, then it's not fun to be around when it's like that. I don't want I want my students focused, able to see what's going on. Yeah, see, it's a small Discord, but it's full of good information for that reason. I think I'll just keep it how it is for the students. If you're a good trader, it wouldn't be useful for you to be in an open version, because you're going to, if there's a room that's open, you're just going to be filled with people who are talking all sorts of crap and pulling you off your game. So I don't think it would even be useful for people like yourselves, Max. I think it would be the absolute opposite, you know? Okay, are we going to try and go back to VWAP again? News has been and gone. There's a beige book later in the day, but that's it. News has been and gone. Exactly, TR. Small but growing, full of good members, and that's the most important thing to me. Growing full of good members. Guess what? That guy's just lifted. He's all the way up at 900 now. 900. He's all the way up at 900. That's where he just lifted to. What a joker. What an absolute joker. He's trying to drag it all the way up. So 4,450 now. Moved up to 500. What an absolute joker. We called it though, didn't we? We said this is his game. This is what he'll try and do. He's not legit. He's got no interest in getting filled. None. One strange note. First day, they did not take out the low. Yeah, totally. Well, today was the day that they had a chance to produce that higher low. That's why I was saying I don't want to be a seller in this blue box. This area here has a chance to be a higher low. It's the first chance we have. There's your drive up. Here's your pullback. Here's your resting liquidity. We have a chance to at least do that, low-hanging fruit, and then come up to here. And then at this point, the hourly has a chance to do this or come all the way back down. But this here feels like a probable trade to me, which is why I was looking for the long rotation up this morning towards the overnight high. All right, it felt probable. It felt very, very probable to do that move today. Market cannot get going. Every time it's got the chance to come and attack view up and get through the New York Open, it keeps failing. At some point, they're probably going to let it through. My gut would say at some point they let it through. Not now, though, apparently. New hourly bar coming. Back to current volume area on the day. This is my chance to get off the screens. Done here, folks. Please trade safe the rest of the day. Don't do anything silly, all right? This market is in a full rotation. You can see it's in a full rotation. It's unable to get a closure above the New York Open and the view up. It's had a few attempts to get there and it's been unable to do it. The hourly is just doing a dance right now. It's leaving a pin bar now on the hourly as well. All the way back to volume. Be smart, be careful. Don't do anything stupid. We're in a choppy market. Just come back tomorrow. Hopefully I'm going to feel back to full health tomorrow and we're going to go again. All right. Peace and love. Be kind to each other. Use hard stops. You never know when a news headline is going to hit this market. Take care.